Hello, Umasa, fine girls and fine boys. Welcome back to my channel. This tutorial is going to be how to make this hairstyle but as a wig. And I used a dome cap, a rejected one because I will be cutting most of it off. And this tutorial is inspired by Yvonne Melda. If you don't know her on YouTube, like I can't help you. But that's the video there. And she had 6 small buns, but because of the size of my big head, I don't want tiny buns. I want bigger buns, so I used 4 bigger kinky buns. This is the hair I used. It's Amigos by, I don't know, just use any fluffy kinky hair. It's just like bouncy kinky by Expression. It's exactly the same hair, so any fluffy kinky hair, any kinky hair at all will work. No, not the ones with very tight coils, just looser coils will be fine. So in her own tutorial she said to brush the hair out, and when I was watching it I was like, why do I need to brush out the hair when I am going to still fold it? It's not better when it's compact, but I understood why. When you brush it, you have more chance, like it looks fluffy and better. And then, wait, let's go back to this tutorial first. I measured the whole length I wanted on my head, and then I measured halfway. This is half of half. So I have a pin in the middle. Then from that middle to the back, this is half because I am using 4 balls. So 2 are going to fit at the back and 2 in the front. So halfway at the back is where I am sewing in this. So I would fold one towards the back and fold the second one towards the front. Then half of the head is covered. That tiny T-pin you can see on top of the mannequin head at the center is halfway. So this is a quarter. I just fold. I used a bobby pin to hold it until I folded the front one just to see how it will be. And when I figured it out, then I sewed it down. When I did the front ones, I didn't need to use a bobby pin again because I already knew what it was going to look like. See, I strongly advise you, if you have the intention of making this, please just watch this tutorial to the end. Then when you're making yours, any details you forget, you can just rewatch, because if you miss it, anything I don't explain, like I made some adjustments or some discoveries to what as I was going, so please just watch everything first. So I sewed it down. Another point, see, don't stress yourself being paranoid, thinking that this thing is going to fall off, and then you keep sewing as if you're making a sewing wig. No, any little tacking, when I mean tacking, just tack it and it's fine. I promise you. Don't go crazy like me. Like I think I was sewing it too much, but you're not going to find out in this hair. I made another one after this where I used attachment. You're going to see why. I'll still mention it as I go. So for the second one, okay, another mistake, guys. When I did this, if you're on a bigger side like me, let's just say because of the size of my body and the size of my head, that was why I didn't want those smaller buns. I wanted thick big ones that are going to like show up on my head. That's why I wanted 4 bigger ones. But when I was done, I felt as if the one in the front was tiny. Like you will see how frustrated I got and how I fixed it. But if you can make the hair extension, if you're big and you like bigger buns, like considering the ratio of your face, then I would have just added more kinky hair to this one. Somehow I later did, but just get my point. So anyway, I did that and sewed it, and they were like equal looking. Short, it was even looking smaller. I am beginning to feel as if I actually cheated this front one and made the second bun a little bit bigger than the first one. So you have to be careful with that. Like instead of making the second one bigger, the first one should be bigger. Like if you can make the first one slightly bigger, it's fine. If you're a big girl like me, but if you're small, you don't have a problem. I think you can just make them equal. But this was what it was looking like, and it was time to cut. See guys, another thing, see, if you can get an ideal material, I think for this is, I liked the fact that it was stretchy. Like the material I used was stretchy, because I found out that like when I put my hair in a bun and I clip the hair, I can stretch it out, clip it, then it will shrink. It will make my bun tighter somehow on my face, like you can adjust how you want it to look when it's stretchy. You can make it a little bit longer, you can make it a little bit wider before clipping it down. These are the wig clips I use. I somehow feel as if this thing is too heavy duty for this hair, because if you clip it in, it's not going anywhere. It's not as if this hair has any risk. You're not going to feel as if, oh, my wig might fall off in any way. Not at all. The one I made with braiding hair, with normal expression hair attachment, that's the one that was feeling as if you miss yarn anyhow, your wig can just fall off. But this kinky one was extremely light, and you know how kinky stays in place now, so this thing almost felt heavy duty for it. If you have any other wig cap, that's wig comb that is not this serious, you can even use bobby pin. Like, I would actually sew down a bobby pin, like bobby pins on this thing, and it will be fine. Yvonne Melda actually used only bobby pin. She didn't sew it down. Because I am a hairstylist and I have seen people that cannot even comb their hair, I can't imagine a client like making this thing for a client and using just bobby pin. Like, some people will not even be able to put it on their hair without ruining all the bonds on it. So I can't take that risk of only using bobby pin. She used only bobby pin for herself. I can use only bobby pin because I am a hairstylist. I know what to do. If I feel as if it's getting loose somewhere, I can just add the bobby pin. But people who are not too good with making their hair themselves, or just with their hair or hair in general, might not be able to handle that. That was why I decided to sew this one down, so that I can actually make it and sell it to my clients, because it takes your hair from 0 to 100. So this is what it looks like. Can you see the inner so I sewed in 4 in total. And remember, this bun, I didn't want the bun on my face from beginning. Like the front one, I didn't want it coming down to my face. You can actually style it that way and it still looks cute. I didn't want it on my skin with all the breakouts going on. So you can see the hair extension extends beyond the material, the cloth, the dome cap material. So you have to put those pins where it will not be on like your edges. You take it in a little and then allow the braiding hair to extend out, okay? So the kinky can extend towards your face a little bit more, but don't sew the comb where when you clip it, you're clipping it on your edges. I hope you understand. So this is I watched Adana Madeske's video, that video that, and I intended making that hairstyle, trying to make it as a clipping. She made it on her hair. I wanted to try it as a wig. So in her own tutorial, she parted her hair this way. That hair was beautiful. She parted her hair this way, like 3 small sections at the back and then 1 bigger one in the front. And because I had the intention of making both tutorials the same day and I have to wear them on my head, even though Yvonne used 1 bun for this hairstyle, like she packed her hair into 1 bun, it was still very beautiful. But for Dana's own style, this is the requirement. Like, she had these lines and I wanted to recreate that because I have a client coming in to make that hair. I wanted to recreate it exactly as it was. So I felt like there is no harm in making this pattern of buns and using it for both tutorials. So that was the only reason why I stressed myself to pack my hair this, although this style is actually finer than just packing your hair into 1 bun, but it's unnecessary. Oh, and this gel, I am using a hair wax. I have 1 hair wax that got dried out in my salon, and as a Nigerian girl that I am, we don't waste anything, and I felt like this is the best place to use it. So I'm not going anywhere, I'm just making this tutorial for YouTube. So at the end of the day, it can go, like the style can be over, because the next day I can perfectly style my hair back and wear it. I'm not paying anybody. See, even the bristle brush was finding it very difficult to brush that congealed gel into place, but the gel was put to use and it wasn't a waste. Since my hair is relaxed, it wasn't too stressful to lay it down. And you see at the back, I didn't put any gel previously, so I just sprayed this got2b spray just to tame any hair that might be poking up. And then I got like my nape area. Forgive that light that is flashing it. When I want to see myself, I put that light on. When I want you guys to see more, I put this one on. You see, I was sharing it, don't feel bad. So if you make your hair yourself, you know this is the part where your arm will be killing you. My arm was dying, not dying, it was getting stronger. Away with the fat, more muscles. So I tied it down, wiped away all the sweat and stress, and it's time to put it on. So look at how tiny my hair is. Like if some people make bantu knots, guys, what does this thing look like? Like the material inside, it looks exactly like a pad. It looks like a sanitary pad. So if you can get a stretchy material that is mesh, just cut out the size of the sanitary pad you use. If you use just your size, because I believe somehow if you use bigger size, maybe you have a bigger body and your head is big, so you use, just like me, this is the size I would cut out. But for someone who is smaller or has a smaller head, then it might be less. So just trace out exactly the shape and size of a sanitary pad and place it on your dummy head and sew your kinky onto it. That easy. So if it has mesh, if it's made of mesh material, it will be easy for you to poke bobby pins through it anywhere. But with this one, I can't put bobby pin like in the middle, through the cap and on my head, you get? So it has to be from the side. I felt feeling uncomfortable because of that front bone that is so tiny. I tried fluffing it out, but see, it's looking smaller than the others. I can't have this tiny thing on my head. Unless it's my natural hair, then I can deal with a small bone because that's what I have, but not with this. So I just got an extra kinky hair, opened it and fluffed it like somebody that was cleaning out a wound. Like how nurses fluff cotton wool into your inch. Oh god, that thing is very painful. So I felt better. Like it wasn't as big as I wanted, but like on my face, it wasn't like a tiny bone. It was now like a little bit sizable. And thank you, Yvonne, for this tutorial, for inspiring me. So you can watch the one I made with Adana. It will be linked at the end of this video when it's live. Bye, babies.